Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I haven't posted in about 2 months, probably. And a lot of that is because I've had a brain fart of what the heck I'm supposed to post. So, Loki was just thinking, I'm just gonna push record. But I think something, that I've kind of been struggling with. Also, look at that, John. Jesus. I think recently I was kind of laying in my bed and I came to the realization that, I feel like I a lot of times in my life struggle with a lack of drive. The feel like you wake up in the morning and you're like, bro, I just don't want to get up, because at least for me, I think a big factor of that is school. I just go to school, do the same thing every day, and I'm like, boy, I'm done. Get me out of this, bro. But from that, I was just talking to the Lord a lot about it, because I was really struggling with that of, I just don't have a motivation to do anything. But I was asking the Lord about it, and I was actually outside sitting on my porch asking the Lord what, I don't know. And I just felt kind of to start writing about what I've been struggling with. And it was funny, as I was about to end what I was writing, kind of little poem about how I've been lacking a drive and how everything in life seems so bland. My parents came home, and I think the Lord revealed to me in that moment that my drive is what's right in front of me. I think oftentimes we, try to make our drive this grand ordeal thing of, my drive is to write this book. My drive is to hit plat in Rocket League or something, stuff like that. But I think oftentimes we get so blinded by the big things of life that we miss a small thing. There's scripture that says to not despise a day of small beginning, and I think I very often find myself falling into that, of despising a day of small beginnings. If it's not grand, if I don't have anything big or a main event during my day, it's all right, this day isn't really worth much. It's not really plentiful. I'm not really gaining much out of this day. Therefore, I'm not really motivated throughout the day, and I don't want to get up, just hit a lag spike. I don't really want to get up, I'm just kind of just laying there, just bleh. But I think it's also fascinating to realize Jesus, he probably wasn't doing things 24/7. I'm sure he was a busy guy. I'm sure he to some degree filled his schedule. But I don't think he was doing things every day. And I think it's also we live in a workaholic culture where we always got to be doing stuff. But I think that defeats the original design of a Sabbath rest. Not that we are by any means obligated to that anymore after the death and resurrection of Jesus. But Paul, I think it's in Hebrews, he talks a lot about it of this could not at all be how it goes, but it's man was not made for the Sabbath, but Sabbath for man. And it's not an obligation to live life slow, to take it easy, and to live, I think it's as James says, a quiet life, or a calm, to live a quiet life. I don't think that's what our culture says for us to do. I think our culture says to go be this grand ordeal, go make a name for yourself, and to some degree that might be God's calling for you. But I think an even greater calling is just relaxing on him. I think there is very much a time and place where we have dreams, we have desires, go pursue. But I think some of the times that are maybe even equal to those moments are the times where we got nothing on our plate. Because I think it's when we have nothing on our plate, that's when God can speak to us the most, because we're not distracted by other things, though those things might be good. It's just a time to relax and embrace in the love of the Lord.